It's Jordan. It's been a while since I made a video, but yeah, today is my first video in about 5 months. So if you want to give me a subscription, give a thumbs up button or the like button. If you hear me having trouble talking, it's because I have a disability. So please be respectful if you think I'm talking too loud or whatever. But anyways, today we're gonna be making I made an AEW versus New Japan versus WWE Supercard, and now I am going to tell you how I would book an AEW New Japan and WWE fantasy card. Okay, let's get to the card. So, alright, my first match is going to be I would have SCU taking on Evil and Sonata, LIJ, and the Usos. And I would have them go about, I'd say 15, 20 minutes to get the crowd hyped, show the crowd what they can do in that span of 15, 20 minutes, because SCU, Evil Sonata, and the Usos are arguably three of the best tag teams in the world, and when you look at their stats, you know, SCU already becoming the first AEW tag champions, the Usos multi-time WWE tag champions, Evil Sonata multiple-time IWGP tag champions. I really think this would make the show really good to start off with this type of barn burner of an opener. And I would have the Usos go over in this because I really think that people wouldn't expect the Usos to win in the very first match of the card, and it could be one of the biggest wins of the Usos' career, having them pin Evil and Sonata. But so my second match of the night would be a four-way dance. To slow things down a little bit, it's going to be a very technical four-way dance. So my first competitor I chose for this match was Zack Sabre Jr. I would have him go up against Tyler Bate, Cesaro, and Pac in about a 12-minute match. I don't want to make it too long, but you know, since the crowd gets excited at the beginning of the show, we kind of want to slow things down a little bit so the crowd doesn't get like burnt out for the entire show, because there'd be like 9 or 10 matches on the card, and you wouldn't want your crowd getting burned out because of, you know, you have one exciting match and then, oh, you got a four-way match of four great mat-based wrestlers, and you kind of want to let the crowd observe and analyze what's really going to go on in a four-way match. And so that's why I picked Sabre, Tyler Bate, and Cesaro and Pac to do this four-way match if it had ever happened, which I personally think would be a great four-way match, because I'm a big fan of mat-based wrestling all-around style, so this would be my type of match, and I would have Pac go over in this match. Excuse me. But anyways, besides that, I would have Pac go over in this fatal four-way match to show that he is, once and for all, the bruiserweight of professional wrestling. And then my third match, I want to speed things up again. So, for my third match, I chose Will Ospreay versus Rey Mysterio versus Sammy Guevara, who are three of the very best high flyers in the game today. I chose to put Sammy Guevara in here because I feel like Sammy Guevara is a very underrated high flyer, and if you look at his independent scene, he wrestles a lot like Will Ospreay and Rey Mysterio and Ricochet. All those guys, I really think, inherits his style, and a lot of high flyers have always idolized Rey Mysterio and Ultimo Dragon, Jushin Thunder Liger. A lot of guys would really like to have a match with someone like Rey Mysterio or a Will Ospreay, because Will Ospreay is probably the MVP of last year, having incredible matches with guys like Shingo, guys like, oh man, I can't even I'd have to make a list of that, because Will Ospreay is just freaking awesome. All the matches he's had last year, 2019 was definitely the year of Will. And I put Rey in here because I know Rey Mysterio would get a good match out of Will Ospreay and Sammy Guevara, and I would have Guevara and Ospreay carry most of the match, so Rey could still do some of his high-flying moves, but because of his knee injuries, I'd want to make sure Rey was safe working in this type of match. And I think I would have, let's see, we already have 1 point for AEW and WWE, so I think I would have Will go over in this match, so it could be fair, so it could be like an even playing field for all three promotions. So with all brands aside, I'm sorry, if all brands tied at one a mano a mano, one, oh my god, I'm sorry, but all tied at one apiece, we go on to a fourth match, which I think this would tear the house down. AJ Styles, Gallows and Anderson versus Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks in a 6-man tag match. I would have this match go about 20 minutes of them just having an absolute spot fest of just showcasing why they are 6 of the very best wrestlers in the world today. And I know a lot of people have always been wanting to see a match between AJ Styles and Kenny Omega, which is a dream match that, unfortunately, it could happen, it may not, you never know. But, you know what they say in the wrestling business, never say never. But yeah, I would start off the match with AJ and Kenny Omega doing a little bit of showboating, and then I would have them quickly go into chain wrestling, switching out a headlock, head scissors, kip up out of it, headlock, head scissors, kip up out of it. Then I would have the tag teams come in, and they all start having an all-out brawl. Nick Jackson is going to do the head scissors with the guy on the apron. Nick's going to come in, do the drop kick. I would have Omega come over the top with a tope con hilo with Nick, and then we would just get the whole crowd hyped up, and then continue to match on from there. Let AJ and the OC have some fun with the Bucks and Kenny. Just have just an all-out fun match in general. I don't know about you guys, but I would personally think that it could be a potential match of the year candidate if it ever happened. And I would have the Elite go over in this match, and then after the match, I would like to see AJ, Gallows and Anderson, and the Bucks and Kenny all shake hands in the center of the ring, and saluting the crowd with them showing their appreciation for all 6 athletes. And so I think it'd be a really good way to end that match, of just having a match of just pure out wrestling, showing respect for one another. Because we all know that's what professional wrestling is about, just bringing people together and showing the world what they can really do. So I really think that'd be an awesome 6-man tag match. And then AEW is up 2-1. And next, I know you guys are probably going to laugh for me booking this type of match, but I would have The Miz taking on freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. And I would have this more of like, I'd have this go about 11 minutes, because Orange Cassidy is more of a comedy wrestler than an in-ring performer, and I would have him go up against The Miz, 2 people who are some of the best talker. Orange Cassidy doesn't even need a mic to be an entertainer, but having The Miz, who has gotten so much better over the years, taking on Orange Cassidy, and a bit of a comedy fest, I would have them go in. Because Orange Cassidy is one of those guys that doesn't have to have a 5-star match to be entertaining. So is Miz. Because both of these guys are 2 of the most entertainers I've ever seen this past year. I first saw Orange Cassidy on the independent scene, and man, he can do everything. Because literally during a tag match, he did a suicide dive, and he had both hands in his pockets, which I was incredibly impressed that he could do that. And I actually had the opportunity of going up to him afterwards and saying, I wanted to tell you that you're really good, and I hope you do really good in your career. And he stayed in character, but it was still cool. He got to talk to me for a second. But so for that, I would have The Miz go over in this match. I'd have it go about 11 minutes, have Cassidy do his showboating thing, and have the 2 of them go at it for 11 minutes. But yeah, we'll have The Miz go over. So now it's 2-2 tie for AEW and WWE. New Japan has 1 point. So next, this match is going to be a slugfest. My next match. Shingo Takagi versus Walter versus Lance Archer in a freeway dance. I would have this go about 15 minutes of just these guys just beating the hell out of each other. I'd have Walter chopping Shingo in the middle of the ring. Have Shingo chop Walter. Archer chop one of them. Have Walter have him drop kick Shingo into the corner. And then have him and Archer battle it out for a couple minutes, have Shingo get his break, have Walter do the old school across the ring into a moonsault off the top. Because I don't know if you guys have ever seen Lance Archer or not, but Lance Archer, one of the most impressive things I've ever seen him do is an old school all the way around the ring and then hit a moonsault off the top afterwards. In a lot of ways, he reminds me so much of a young Undertaker, when Undertaker first started wrestling. And I really think in a couple of years he could be something. I mean, he's in his 40s, but still, you never say never, like I said earlier. But in this, I would have Shingo Takagi go over and have them have one hell of a slugfest of just three behemoths just colliding into each other, which would make up for a very fun match. And then my co-main event, I would do Braun Strowman versus Tomohiro Ishii, and it doesn't have to be a long match, so I'd make it about 9 minutes of two big men, just because we all know Ishii's a great brawler when it comes to in-ring performing, and we know how athletic Braun Strowman is for his size and how fast he can move, and I really think it almost kind of be like the irresistible force meeting the immovable object in a sense. With Tomohiro Ishii being this short guy whose head is literally like a rock, and Braun Strowman, who's built like a tank, a walking pile driver, and them having this incredible stare down, but then Ishii headbutting Braun Strowman, knocking him off his feet in the early goings of the match, and having just a 10-minute match, just beating the absolute tar out of each other, and I'm going to give Ishii the win there. And then on to my main event, which, honestly, I really think a lot of people would think this would be a great match, and a match that would really stand the test of time. Two young guys who a lot of people didn't think could make the main event in anywhere. And I'm talking anywhere, like where it's indie scene, WWE, New Japan, anywhere. And so this main event, I would do Adam Cole, the current NXT champion, taking on the IWGP Intercontinental and World Champion Tetsuya Naito. And I would have these guys battle title for title, heavyweight title and the NXT titles on the line, in a 30-minute slugfest. Not slugfest, sorry. A 30-minute technical wrestling match in an all-around contest. You'd have Naito do his thing, Adam Cole do his thing. Two guys just wanting to prove who is truly the best in the world. And the reason I picked Adam Cole for this main event is because, you really want to rely on building your young talent. Yeah, you guys may have said, hey, you could have picked John Cena, you could have picked, I don't know, Seth Rollins, but, I always look at young talent, and when I see young talent have the type of potential that these two have, and they're like skyrocketing right now, Adam Cole and Tetsuya Naito, the careers they've been having this past year and this year. I mean, Naito didn't have too much of a good year last year, but this year he's really starting to blossom after beating Okada at Wrestle Kingdom. But I really think this would be a great main event to end, just a top to bottom great show between all these three promotions, and I'd really want to have Naito go over Adam Cole, just to show that you don't have to be the smallest guy nor the biggest to stand the test of time in a 45-minute classic wrestling match. Just imagine like Cole trying to go for the last shot, and Naito kicks right back up, and then he counters it into a Destino. That would be one of the sickest counters that could ever happen in the business, and I'd really like to see a card like this if it actually happened, because I'm such a passionate fan, and being a fan like this and following these three major promotions is what makes me so happy. Following guys like Art Carter, guys like Lundrick, King of Wrestling Reviewer 98, Reviewer Experience, those guys really motivated me in trying to make not just videos on match cards, but fantasy cards. And different topics I want to start talking about more often because I think it's a lot of fun. It's a great way to help engage other people in learning the psychology of professional wrestling. Not just psychology, but what professional wrestling is in general. Bringing people together, people together to do something new, to learn something. And I really want to start doing that more often for all of you guys. And that wraps up my fantasy card. If you want to give me a thumbs up or hit the subscribe button, please do. Uh, this is Jordan with another video, so peace.